Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate podcast. I'm Rebecca Yusan, and I'm super excited to share with you today. So many of you know that I absolutely love being with eXp Realty, and you know how it's changed my life, it's changed my business, and it's just made life just so much better being with EXP. So I'm starting a new series right now, and I'm interviewing other amazing EXP agents, and they're sharing with us their story and their experiences. So hopefully we can help someone else make better decisions or maybe different decisions than they thought they were going to make. So, with that, I'm super excited to introduce to you our next guest for today, Valentino Sanchez.
Thank you for the
Valentino,
invite.
welcome.
Thank you for the invite. I'm happy to be here.
Yay. Okay, so we have lots of questions for you today, and I can't wait to get to know you. I've never met you before, so I'm super excited. After this, you're going to be one of my newest besties, and we're going to go build huge businesses together, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay. So tell us, Valentino, how long have you been a licensed real estate agent?
Licensed real estate agent. I got my license in December of 2022, but
What?
yes, my wife has actually been a real estate agent for the last 8 years. So I've been working with her for about 2 years, more or less, and it's just more like on the back end of stuff, like cold calling, um, nurturing clients, that type of stuff. More like it was more like admin stuff. Uh,
Okay.
it's great because it kind of gave me a lot of insight into real estate before I actually jumped in. And as soon as I got my license, I was able to get my first listing, which was a $1.2 million listing
Ah,
in Lago. And not only that, but I put it on the contract in about 20 days, double siding.
what? Okay, that's not normal, but it is normal when you start the way you started. And a lot of people are doing it that way now. They're starting in the back. They're starting with the calls like you did and with the nurturing, and they're learning all of the guts of the business.
Yes, and
So
that was
go
like the
ahead.
hardest part. That was like the hardest part for me maybe 2 years ago. My wife's like, because before that I had a construction company, and she's like,
Oh,
well, why don't you move into real estate? It's not backbreaking work. It's a lot easier. It's just more mental. And I said, you know what? Let me give it a try. So I started making calls 2 years ago. How to learn how to deal with rejection, getting
uh,
people hanging up on me, cussing me out. But it gave me the thick skin I needed to once I was ready to get into real estate. But it was only after like 200 rejections that I was able to get her first listing appointment. So she's like, okay, you might have something in here. So shortly after
okay.
that, just listing appointments just kept coming in, kept rolling in. And she was like, I think you're good at this. I think you should get, after like a year and a half, she was like, I think you should get your license. And I was hesitant. I was like, no, I'm happy doing what I do. And then it was just sometime last year in the summer when I just decided, you know what, I think I'm going to pursue the license. And I was able to actually start. Here's the funny part about me getting my license. So I got my license before. I think last year we had two hurricanes come through Central Florida.
Yeah.
So the week of the first hurricane, I went into class. Went 3 days into my class, and then they suspended the classes. Said you got to go online because the hurricane's coming through. So it was like, okay. So then I went online. I finished the online class. I passed the test real quick, and then they told me, okay, now you got to go take your state test. So I'm like, okay. So then I actually waited maybe about a month or two. And then I said, you know what, I want to refreshen back up on my classes. So I re-enrolled into the online course just so I could refreshen everything up so I can go take my state test. And the next hurricane comes through and they shut it down. So I was
Oh
like,
my.
okay. So I was at home just studying on the book. I went straight to the book. I studied for about a week. And then after that, I put the book down. I said, I'm going to go take the test. I think I'm ready. And I passed it. I was pretty happy.
Oh,
My wife was like,
easy.
yep. She said that's the
Yeah.
easy part. Now comes the hard part, being the realtor.
Being the realtor. Yes. But the cool part for you is you're the teammate of your biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
And you guys are doing this together. I always preach to my newer agents, get a running buddy. Either someone that's brand new like you or someone that's been around a while that needs help. And then you can play off each other, and she can do the things that she's really good at and you can do the things that you're really good at, and together, wow, you can build something
Yeah, and
huge.
and it's like my first three listings I currently have on the market right now is two of them under contract. One of them's on the market still, and I've co-listed with my wife because she's teaching me everything. Like now, she said, okay, now you know the back end stuff. Now you gotta learn the front end stuff. So and I'm happy. I mean, we're co-listing, and she's been helping me. Now I'm learning the paperwork side to it because in those last 2 years, I really didn't do too much paperwork. It was more cold calling, working the
Yeah.
phones, and staying on top of the admins we had. So she's no, now you gotta learn the hard stuff, which is all the paperwork, make sure everything's right, submit all the paperwork, the addendums, everything. So
That comes everything, right? The working with the people part.
yeah, so it's a crash course in paperwork now.
I love it. Okay, so Valentino, tell us where you are. Where are the markets that you serve?
So the market I serve is actually in Lake Nona, but I work anywhere in Orlando, all over the Orlando region,
Okay.
which is Polk County, Lake County, Orange County, Brevard County.
Okay. So a pretty big area you'll
Yes,
service. Yeah, because Orlando is a busy area and there's so much opportunity there. But with the two of you, you could really handle quite a big service area. So that's
ex-
exciting. Yeah.
yes. So we're actually concentrating on what is Lake Nona area, which is like the
Uh-huh.
32827, right by the airport. It's up and coming. It's growing. It's the number one growing community in the United States for the last couple of years. So it's booming.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's fun to watch all of that. So
Oh yeah.
cool. So, your wife, your partner, has been with EXP for a while, then I'm guessing.
Actually, she joined EXP in February, or actually January of 2022. She was with
Okay.
Keller Williams before that,
Uh-huh.
and it just so happened that one of her longtime friends called us for a meeting, and he was like, "Let me tell you about the EXP model." And then we're like, "She's like, I need you to come to this meeting with me because I'm not joining. I don't want to leave my brokerage. I'm gonna give you the Q sign, and you're gonna just be like, we gotta go." So I'm like, okay. So we went to the meeting, and then we met our friend, and once their friend was done, kind of, and he was moving to EXP himself. He wasn't with EXP. He was with Sotheby's at the time. So he
Okay.
kind of gave us a rundown, and I just listened. And then my wife was giving me the cue, like, let's go, like, for me to say, let's go. And I was just like, and she was seeing that I wasn't responding because when he was telling me, I was like, okay, if I'm getting this right, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So my wife after a while picked up that I was not following the cue, like, hey, she wanted to leave. So she said, okay, we'll get. And then I just basically looked at my wife. I said, listen, this sounds pretty good. Maybe we should just hear him out. And then he said, look, I can set up a meeting tomorrow morning with Veronica Figueroa, Gil
Oh,
Ramos, and
huge.
yeah, come to the office, hear them out. And my wife started her real estate career with Gil Ramos in 2014, 2013.
Oh,
So
wow.
she knows Gil Ramos personally. So we're like, you know what? Let's set up the meeting. So when we left there, my wife's like, I thought we were gonna leave. I said, listen, if half of what he's telling me is even true, I'm like, there's something here. Maybe we should let's go to this meeting tomorrow morning and find out what's going on. The next morning, we were with Gil Ramos and Veronica Figueroa, and she broke it down to us. And she was like, once they broke everything down, my wife, we left the meeting and she was just like, what do you think? I'm like, pack your bags. You're going to EXP.
So, what do you think it was? Was there one thing that you were really attracted to, or what was it?
I actually was impressed by the rev share. That
Yeah.
that to me, I was like, because it's like a retirement plan. I'm like, we didn't have one at the time, and our goal was to buy properties, and it's still our goal is to buy investment properties so we can live off them in the future. But I
Yep.
told her this not only helps us do that, but at the same time, it's like a retirement fund, for us. And real estate, I'm like, my wife's already a top producer. She's always in the top 500 every year. So
Wow.
her volume average is about 20 mil a year. So she's good. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're like, you know what? You've been all these years in Keller Williams, and all you ever got was these little glass trophies. And I'm like,
Which
the
are
workplace.
pretty.
Yeah, I'm like they're nice paperweights, but I'm like, what have you really gained from that? I'm like, at least over here we're closing deals, and now we're getting the rep share. And in 3 years after we have insurers, I'm like, we can do whatever we want with it, you know. I'm like, and right now is the best time to be in it because the market is down. I mean, the stock is down. We're buying it cheap. We're getting it at a cheap price. I like when the price goes up on it because everything that goes down must go back up. So it's gonna
Yes.
go up. So let's just take advantage of it now. Try to close as many deals as possible. Try to icon and then see where
Yeah.
we go from there.
Oh my gosh, that is huge. So to ask you if your business with your wife has changed since you came to EXP, I'm guessing now you actually see you can build an amazing future for yourself. And
Yes,
you can
it's
actually retire someday and stop working.
yes. I think the potential for with EXP is is creating good wealth through the plans that they have. I think it's an
Yeah,
excellent plan that
generational
they have.
wealth. Yeah. I mean, gosh, I'm so excited for you guys right now. Okay, so let me think. So is there anything, this might be a tough question. Is there anything that EXP has to offer right now that you haven't really taken advantage of but you want to? What's
I,
next?
I want to say maybe the classes online because I'm not too much of going into the world. It's just I like to go. I'm an in-person type of person. Like I like to be in
Okay.
classes in person. So maybe I haven't taken advantage of what they have to offer, but I know I've seen it, and they have tremendous amount of classes and education in the world that I know I'm I want to take advantage of and find the time so I can take these classes and learn more because it's a
Yeah.
great information that they have in there.
Yeah. When I first started with EXP quite a few years ago, every time I would go into the world and take a class, like I could do one class and then I implemented, and then I couldn't do any more classes because I got so busy. So it's the best. It's our biggest agents teaching us exactly what they did. Like, who does that? Only
Yes.
EXP does that because we know if we're all stronger individually, we're stronger as a whole. And
As a whole, yes.
that's amazing. That abundance mindset and it's the best. Okay, so tell me, you've told me a lot of things that you really love about EXP Realty. Is there one thing that you say, this I can't live without it? It's my favorite thing.
My favorite thing about EXP, I think,
Yeah.
is the way everybody comes together. Like in Cabos, we've been to Cabos. We have not been yet to Las Vegas for
Oh,
the annual party.
yeah.
We hope to go this year because it actually lands on my wife's birthday, so it's kind of one of our plans. So,
Fun.
but I think just the way they come together and they celebrate together, I think is my favorite part of it. It's like one big family.
It is like one big family, and it's so crazy. I don't always go to our big events expecting to meet a lot of people. I don't know why not, but I always come home with a huge list of new besties, new contacts, new people that are going to help me get to the next level and that I can help get to the next level. That's a big deal. It's not just about one person, it's about all
Yeah,
of us.
because you get to meet so many people out there. You get to meet new agents, and at the end, it's everybody loves buying in Florida. So it's a great referral base to meet all these new agents, all these other agents from other states.
Yep.
Because at the end, everybody's moving to Florida. So
Yep.
chances are that one of those agents can send you referrals pretty high.
Absolutely. And that helps them as well because
Yeah.
now everyone around the world almost can refer agents to you. And then everyone just makes more money and everyone looks, well, we are really connected.
Yes.
So it makes us look even more professional and more like we're on our A game, which we are. So it's amazing. That's the best. I'm in Florida as well, and I've picked up a lot of transactions just because I live here. So so move to Florida if you want more business. Okay, so do you have any regrets since you haven't been here very long, but since you guys came to EXP, have you and your wife said, "Oh, I kind of regret this"?
No, no. I think the maybe the only like that my wife still hasn't gotten used to is just not having access to maybe. because she's not good online going to the world. It's just having
Okay.
that call where you, if you come across, but you can call the broker and the broker can take care of something. You have to go to the world, get a ticket, or even get in line and just wait. And it's not as fast as it is like when you can call the broker. That's the only thing. But other than that, I
Okay.
mean, no regrets. No, not really.
Aw. Yeah. So maybe just a little bit of a learning curve.
Yes, it's just
Yeah.
adjustment, adjusting
Yep.
to the new norm, which everything's online now.
Yep, the new normal. That's right. And I have to say, I still get hung up on that sometimes. But while I'm waiting in the chair for the broker to come get me, I'm just working right here, doing my thing. But I know they're always available to me. So that gives me confidence that I'm not doing this alone. And then there's all these other people around me on my team and my groups that if I'm really stuck, there's someone I can call. So that's
Yes.
the best. So, okay, last question. So, I know there's going to be a lot of brand new real estate agents listening to this or a lot of people considering getting into the business. So, you're still kind of new to being an
To
agent. But I know you have a lot of wisdom already with trial and error. So tell us your best advice for that new person, either just newly licensed or about to get licensed. What's your best advice for them?
for them to get started, get on the phones and get used to calling people. Get a database more than anything, and work it. Get out there, do open houses, collect as much information as you can from those open houses, add them to your database, call them, check on them. And the most important thing is follow up, because if you call and speak to a person one time and you don't follow up, somebody else is following up for you and they're going to take that client. So the most important thing is follow up.
You are right. And people expect that you're going to follow up. If you're a business professional, they know you're going to be calling, whether they like it or not. You're going to follow up because you want to help them. That was excellent advice. Valentino, do you know, have you ever taken the DISC personality test?
I have.
Okay.
It's been a while. It's been about 3 years ago that I took it, but I want to say I was like in between a high D and an I.
I knew it. So I have another series that talks about how your personality can determine how you generate leads. And all the D personalities are the callers. They are in it, in the grind, and they're like, let's get it done, let's go. And that is you.
Yeah,
I
you can't
love
be
it.
afraid. You cannot be afraid of rejection, because
No.
in this business you will not survive if you're scared of rejection, because you're going to get rejected more than you succeed. But it's when you succeed that makes it worth the while.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the hardest part. But once you get through that and then you start building a referral based business and the phone just starts ringing, they call you after a
You call you,
while.
yes, and that's
And
the main. That's the goal. To have them start calling you versus you calling them. The first couple of years, you're gonna be calling. You get so used to it that after your third or your fourth year, they start calling you back, because now the people that you helped out 3 years ago are thinking about selling, upgrading, downgrading, and they, guess what? They had a great experience with you. They're gonna call you back, and they're gonna want to list their house and help them buy a new one.
absolutely, because everyone buys and sells every 5 to 10 years. So now you've got this huge clientele base that will never end. And like you said, if you do a good job, they're going to refer you all the
Yeah,
time. So, and I know you and your wife are definitely good referrals
yeah,
because
and
you
then
take
yeah,
care of your people.
yeah, and the most important thing is don't forget about the people that you close on, like, because people are quick to forget you after a while if they don't hear from you.
That's
So
right.
you got to stay relevant. You got to send them postcards on holidays, follow up with them, just check on them twice a year minimum, or 3 times a year. How you doing? How's the family doing? How's the house? Any problems? Anything I can help you with? And then just have a big Rolodex of contractors, a handyman, because everybody always needs something
Ooh.
fixed. So
Yep.
always call them up and tell them, hey, if you ever need anything, make sure you call me, reach out to me directly. I can find somebody for you. Most likely, I know somebody that can help you fix your problem at your home.
That's right.
And
Be the source, be the
yeah,
expert in all of it.
yes,
Okay, Valentino, I love that I got to know more about you. I'm going to be in Orlando for shareholders. Are you guys going to make it to that?
Yes, we will be there.
Okay, so hopefully we will see each other, shake
I-
hands, and I know you and your wife are going to have a huge, huge business, even bigger than you can imagine. And I just really appreciate your time.
I look forward to it. Thank you. I
All
appreciate you
right.
having
Well,
me.
yes, my pleasure. So get back to your event and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.